Hey, everybody. Tell me if you can hear me okay. I think I have a little bit of a low microphone, and I'm not sure what to do about that. Does it sound okay? Okay, cool. All right, good. All right. It's the best I can do. I think Ariel will be in just a moment because I sent him a link just a second ago. Can you guys see my screen? Okay. Okay, good. Um, Tell you what, let me. I did a video just a little bit ago, maybe half an hour ago, and I put it up on YouTube and I put it on the website where I've sort of created a post around this whole conversion theme. Let me tell you a little bit about what I plan for today. It could get long, it could be really short. I just don't know. Ariel, who created Absolute Jacker, is I think he's probably used to a whole different mentality in a webinar than I have. A lot of, what happens in internet marketing, right? They bring somebody on and they pitch. Well, what they do is they pretend they're going to teach you for like 10 or 15 minutes, and then they start pitching, and they just don't stop pitching until, you're ready to fall asleep. And so I explained to Ariel a little while ago that, that's not, it's just not necessary. It's not what we're going to do today. I wanted him to come on, and I see he's popped up now. I wanted him to come on.
Hi, how are you?
Tell us a little bit. Welcome, Ariel. I wanted him to come on and tell us a little bit about what led him to create Absolute Jacker. And the reason I did that is because I've been on a little bit of a quest myself, which I described in the video that I just did, to boost the amount of money that I'm getting per visitor. I'm building all of these SerpShaker sites, hundreds of thousands, millions of posts are out there. And for me, basically, I've been earning AdSense dollars, a little bit of involvement with a couple of CPA offers, like Campus Explorer and stuff like that. But honestly, I knew that I was completely focused, too much focused on the building and the architecture, and not paying attention enough to conversions and funnel. And so I guess over the last couple of weeks, what I've been doing is playing around with different ways to convert. And somehow I stumbled on Absolute Jacker, and it wasn't the fact that it just framed up another site over a site, because we have tons of options for doing that. It was because it added a layer on top of that. And I'm going to turn Ariel loose here in a minute to talk about it. But I first want to tell you, it's already paid off for me. I've been using it for, I guess, 7 or 8 or 9 days, and it's doubled my daily income. And I by no means have it mastered or anything like that. What we'll do after Ariel's done, like I said, you're in Tel Aviv, right, Ariel?
Yeah, no, in Jerusalem.
Okay. So he's 7 hours ahead of us, which means it's already after 9 o'clock for him. So if Ariel chooses after he talks to leave the call, that's fine, or he's welcome to stay and learn more about SerpShaker. But I'm going to, after we're done interviewing him, I'm literally just going to start talking about my feeder strategy, and I'm going to talk about some of the things that I'm trying with conversion. But it doesn't have to stop with conversion. If you've got other questions that have to do with building, on-page architecture, any of that kind of stuff, my afternoon is completely free, and I will stay until the last question is answered. And if you've got input and ideas, let's find a way for you to share them while we're here. I've always loved the SerpShaker community, and a lot of good things happen around this plugin. It has its ups and downs. As we all know, there are de-indexings periodically and stuff like that, but we fight on. And what I really like about it is we've developed, quite a community, a lot of friends, a lot of relationships, a lot of advice that goes back and forth, and that's what this is all about. So, Ariel, introduce yourself if you would, and tell them a little bit about the plugin, and you know what, if you could, tell us a little bit about what you do in marketing and how you make your money, because I'm sure it's not just in product development.
Yeah, okay. Hi, everyone. Everybody, my English is not the best, but I will try to be clear. Okay, I'm really a software builder, and yes, I also work with affiliate marketing. And well, I tried many things for CPA offers like affiliate marketing. And well, then I begin more with the softwares, and I always look for something to make the things to work faster and easy to make. For example, in some moment I have a blog, and that takes me a lot of time to put articles, all of that, and then the blog don't rank. So I really need something more faster than I can change dependent trend. So that's why I begin with Absolute Juggler. If you want the doc, I can explain a little what it's about.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
please do. Yeah, I know that most of the people that are on this call don't
Yeah.
know a thing about Absolute Jacker. So if you can explain to them.
Okay, I have here all the script to all the features, and are so powerful. I want to show really because it's very a big tool to make.
Sure. Do you know how to do the screen sharing thing?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool.
Let me see.
Maybe I have to stop so you can start.
Let me see. I'm not sure where is. Here.
Yeah, it doesn't look like I can do it on my end. I think you just have to grab it.
You see? Someone see?
I don't see it yet.
I'm sharing.
Okay, maybe it'll just take a moment.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work that your sharing works, I can certainly share it on my screen and we can walk through it that way. Oh, you can see it now? Okay, Matt says he can see it. For whatever reason, I can't see it.
I also see black. Okay, I put stop sharing and put it again.
Okay, now it's coming through. Oh, it just came through.
Oh, sorry. Okay, 1 second.
Yep. Oh, it keeps coming in and going back out. Is anybody else having that issue?
I don't know why.
Okay, I got it again. Third time may be a charm. Nope. Tell me, guys, in the chat, are you guys seeing it constantly, or is it going up and down for you? Got it. Thank you, man. Thanks, Matt.
If they see it, it's okay. You see all?
Yep, we're good. It was me.
If everyone is see it, see? That is screen.
All good.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yep, it looks like it's
Okay.
perfectly fine on my end.
No need to something to focus the screen, I guess. Let's switch when you speak. Okay, perfect. Okay, let's go ahead. Okay, perfect. Okay, what we can do is Absolute Tracker. We have 5 main things that we can do. The first thing is that very fast we can create a campaign to get leads. So if you want to build a list, with this, you can build very easy a list because you rely always on other sites, other sites with authority. So you can use the authority they have to get your leads. So I'm going to show all this, but you put like down in the page, like the authority site, and then you ask if they want to subscribe or to lock a site. We will see everything. And that way you generate leads more easy than if nobody knows you or nobody knows what is your blog, so they don't want to subscribe, like to subscribe to CNN. They are more interested in that kind of sites. So it's very fast and very easy to get leads. The second thing is to send your offers. You can put also in that kind of sites offers, and that also if your offer is in the CNN site, let's say, for example, also they share the authority with your product. So also you make more sales. And also there are many techniques like promote without being noticed, that you are promoting something. You send to an article and they see and they say, oh, very nice article, but you are putting there your promotions, your pop-up, all your things. So you always monetize every article you send to your subscribers or to your fan page. Also, another site you can do is, for example, sites like YouTube or Teespring, sites that you can't put a pop-up. With this tool, you can put pop-ups or exit pop-ups everywhere. So that also brings a lot of help to your campaigns. Also, you can send notifications in Facebook that have a 99% open rate. Everyone checks the notifications. So everyone, when someone click your buttons, your Facebook subscriber button, you get able to send notifications every day you want, every time you want, and you with a link to your site. Also, that is very powerful. I'm going to show you then. Also, you can post offer CPA in Facebook everywhere without being banned, without being locked. And a new thing we are talking with Doc, now we can put any page in all the pages that the automatic bulk poster, for example, feeder, you can put every page that instead of appear that kind of post, always appears your money page over the feeder, over all the pages of feeder. I want to show you that. It's very, very interesting and it's new. We already created today, so it's very, very new. So let's begin with Locker. For example, every time you want to create a campaign to get leads, you have to create a squeeze page. So I want to show you something very interesting. For example, here is a free movie. I want to show you now.
Oh yeah, this was cool.
Yeah, it's a free movie that I found in internet. There are many things that, for example, here you can watch this movie free. My niche is writers, because I have a software called Kindle Samurai for writers. So I have a big audience of writers. So I find this movie Freedom Writers. So I send all followers here to this site, and look what happened. I put here the URL and I apply a locker. After 1 minute, I apply a locker. I want to show you how this works. So I think it's like this. They come here, they say, oh, Now I put it to open after 1 second, but really I have to put it after maybe 5 minutes. So they begin to see the movie, and now they can't continue, they can't close it, only they have to subscribe with Facebook or with Google or with email. So they are locked. And this way they say, okay, well, I begin to see the movie, I will subscribe. So they click here and they subscribe. Then I want to show you how this works. They subscribe. For example, let's say here I have a account, it's not mine, of this person. It's to promote things. So let's say this person log here, you see, they have this pop-up, you see, okay. And now the site is unlocked. Very easy. So now inside the software, you have here in the list, you have the subscribers, and they go direct to your autoresponder service, GetResponse, Aweber, MailChimp, every one of them. So you build your list. At the same time, this person is giving you here authority to send them notifications in Facebook. So look here, I want to show you this. You see here, they have all these notifications. So now we are going to send this person a notification. So I can see this is from the power version only, but you can see the profile. So if you want to see if this person is make fitness or is young or is old, so there is no way that you can see your subscribers who they are. But with this software, you can see all about this person. So now you send especially something for him. So you go here to send notification. You select the list and the person. And here you put the URL you want. Let's say to put, I don't know, for this example, you can put Google. Okay. Okay, so now I put here the URL of my money site, and I put, hey, check this. Let's make it easy. Okay, I put send, and you will see ping 1. You see, that was instantly. Mm-hmm. And now we click here, and we have, hey, check this. See, you click there, and they go to Google instantly. So you have two ways to catch the lead. You also have the mail in your autoresponder, and you have this list you are building with all your Facebook subscribers that you can send individual notifications, or you can send with schedule. You can send you can program for all the banks, all the notifications to make money with them. So now we see that how we lock a site and how to make this way. But there is another way that is very interesting that would be very nice to show you. Is without pop-up. That pop-up is all sometimes they say, hey, what's this pop-up? But for example, here is a site with books. Always in this niche with free books. You see, you can download every book you want, all free. But not all the people know this site. So they see, wow, look, I like this one. You put every click to open a locker. So now log in with Facebook. Again, you have the email if they want to download a book. The situation is like this: you don't build this site. This site is already built. So you can do this campaign in 5 minutes, in 2 minutes. So you can find offers or free things, and instantly to create a big campaign like this, that if you want to build this in your blog, to put free things, a locker, all these books could take a week. So this is very easy and really good results, very fast.
Hey,
So this,
Ariel,
yes.
let's stop for just a moment and deal with a couple of the questions that people have asked.
Yeah, sure.
Do you want me to ask those to you?
Yes, please.
Okay, you can probably see on your list. Greg, I think, had the first question, and that was, does this build a Facebook custom audience as it does its thing?
For ads, you mean?
Yes.
No. This is only for to send Facebook notifications to every subscriber you have. You can send. It's nothing to do with that.
Okay. Ganti has asked if you're using your actual Facebook page or your persona
Yeah.
page.
For what? For
For in this example, I think he didn't
no.
clarify past that. But
If
Greg has asked the same thing. Are you sending the notification from a Facebook page or from your personal profile?
To personal, yes.
Okay, it comes from your. Can
Yes.
it be generated to send from a Facebook page, like a business page?
Well, let's say this person have a lot of fan page, but that he always have this globe here to see the notification. So also if he's in some of his pages, he also see. And when you see the red button here, you click it. It's more than an email that.
Oh yeah, I agree. I know people that are completely addicted to that little red.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you see a mail, you say, okay, no, too much mails. But this you click and check it. So you have a lot of traffic to receive with this. And what I want to say again is that you are choosing this instead of email. You have the two things, so don't worry about that.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. What else have we got? The notification.
If you want, I have some,
do you have to create a Facebook app?
Yeah, you have to create a Facebook app. There is a lot of tutorials in the membership area, and also you don't need to send to review the Facebook app. You don't have to wait. You build it and you use it. It's not there is not any problem.
Yeah, there's a lot of guides online about how to do that too. It's not really all that tough once you've done the first one.
It takes 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't want to show here because it's, but you have to. You see here. I show you now. In Facebook app, you have these URLs that are yours, your Canva, and you secure Canva's URL. You have to put these two URLs inside the Facebook app. I show you in a video, is 1 minute, and then to put the IDs of the app here and authorize. It's very simple. No, you don't lose any time with this. And here you have also Google. You can have opt-ins to change the format, the sizes, pop-up settings. It's very complete, and you have, I can show you many designs. For example, this is a locker. This is a Teespring image. This is another type of opt-in. This is, for example, all these things you can put in any site you want. For example, here you can put a review of a book. You see, again, a book. But you can have, for example, a book in Kindle, and someone enter, and you put the video explaining the book, what is inside the book. So this is nothing can do that with any other way. You can put 2 likes, a box like, no simple images. I want to show you something that also will to see the. For example, this is YouTube. For example, you can send all the day things in YouTube, but it's impossible to any other application to put a pop-up in YouTube. So they are seeing epic cat fails, and you say, hey, let's watch Crazy Cats. So you send from here where you want to another page, to another site. So we broke the code because if you put a iframe in YouTube, you see blank because they have a protection. So we unlocked the security and find a way to use the site to put it's HTML5, it's not the iframe, it's another technology. So for that, I want to explain that here, to break all these security sites, we have parsers. Parsers are different JavaScript codes that works for one side but not for the other. So you have all these parsers, and, for example, YouTube, Kindle, Teespring, iTunes. You can put a video over your app if you are selling an app. Google Play, Udemy, if you have a course in Udemy, you can put also there. So all these parsers is to break the security of all these sites. Here, for example, also we have, I want to show you pop-up, exit pop-up. For example, in this case, making, let's see this. In this case, it's not so invasive. For example, you have a list and you want to send this, but when they go out, you open exit pop-up. So this is also not so aggressive, so that you lock the site, but also you get subscribers. Why? Because they love the article. They say, wow, I like this blog, it's very interesting. And when they see the pop-up, they say, okay, why not? Well, I'm not subscribing to this Galley Cat, but really they are subscribing to your list. Another way also is redirect. This is also very interesting. If, for example, after they leave the site, you send to your money site. This is something new. I'm sure anyone see this. In a second. Okay, you are here. You see Amazon reveals best Kindle books all time. You read. Okay, well, interesting. You are putting the mouse here and go to Kindle Samurai to my product without doing nothing. It's only the exit. When they exit, they are redirected automatic. So you put your product in front of the eyes without they knowing that you're doing that. You see, I go out, boom, the product.
Yes.
It is also very, very good. If you give me 1 minute, I want to tell one more thing that is very nice, that also in all these campaigns, for example, what you can do is to put a pixel here from Facebook or for Google. So every article you send, for example, you post in Facebook, and everyone that is interested in that article, you also know that is interesting in your product because it's the same niche. So you track every one of these persons who read the article, and you have the list to use in Facebook ads. Someone was asking about Facebook ads. So with these articles, you are building your pixel Facebook, so Facebook pixel. So then your ad you run only in these people that are already going to these articles. You are building a list also with a pixel. So this is very, very powerful. Also, each article has its own pixel. It's very good also. And the last thing, no, it's not the last thing, sorry, but another interesting thing is, for example, I want to show this. This is a affiliate offer that you can't post in Facebook because they put a protection. So with this software, I have here my affiliate link, and when I edit my campaign, I have in Facebook post. So I enable this. I put the images here, and when I save, the post is sent to my fan page, for example.
Yeah.
Let's see if I find it. See here. So you send this automatic to Facebook, and when they click, they go to your affiliate offer without being blocked by Facebook and nothing. You can post affiliate offers without any problem. So also these are many things uh, you can do. I don't want to uh, say everything, all the things, but you see the more or less the idea.
Yeah, no, it's a big help actually. What I wanted to, I guess, probably let me explain a little bit for those of you who are have probably never actually seen the configuration options for it. Let me just like back up to
Mhm.
like a 35,000-foot view and explain why I think it's really interesting. Most of us have everyone who's on this call who knows me knows that I have been using redirection by 307 to move people from a SerpShaker feeder site, what I call a feeder site, which is just um, a a site made with mass posts using SerpShaker with keyword rich text, uh, but nothing else. Like it's really light. The theme is Buso Lightning, and it's crazy fast. I'm using SuperCloaker for my redirection. Uh, Trying to think of what other plugins I might. It's a really light install, other than SerpShaker, right? And so what I've done is I've knocked all of the load lag that I can off of the feeder site, and SuperCloaker takes over, and then SuperCloaker sends it on. You have a couple of choices. If you want to do um, traffic counting, you can send it through a traffic distribution system like Boss TDS, or you can just send it right to a money site that operates in the same niche. So for those of you who are familiar with my video that I did on feeders using fruit.com as an example, we're talking about lemon.com, lime.com, those being your feeder sites. And when someone finds them in the search engine rankings and clicks, they get shunted over to fruit.com. And because it's the same niche, right, you are not terribly confused. That way, you can build out, I don't know how many different types of fruit there are, but the example is kind of humorous. Let's say there are 50 different fruits in this world, and I'm sure there are more. You could build 50 different feeders and put almost no work into these. I mean, you literally slap the content into SerpShaker and you're done. You hit the button and you move on to the next one. So you have some time to put work into fruit.com, right? You can build out pages about the different types of fruit. You can make it a true destination site where someone might want to spend time. But here's the cost of that. You've got content, you've got your time. Yeah, Greg says try and get Apple. Um, Yeah, you got content, you got your time, and if you're like me and you're incredibly graphically challenged, that's a real issue. I know what a good site looks like, but I can't design one um, to save my soul. And so, what really interests me about a plugin like this, and there are alternatives that maybe have fewer features, like Leads Phantom, and there are a couple of other ones that will frame up, a good-looking site over top of it. Is that first of all, it's blazingly fast. Like I know we're on a webinar, and that takes a little bit of extra time. But you can frame up something that somebody's already created, who knows what they're doing, onto your ugly site, so nobody ever sees it, of course, but the bots um, theoretically continue to crawl it, or you can go that route yourself. Now, after Ariel's done, and when we start to get into strategy, I'm going to talk a little bit about some interim steps, kind of like that connection between the feeder site and the money site that I think you might want to look into. It actually will remove the money site from the equation and sort of work with like an interim site for a couple of reasons that we're going to talk about. But the bottom line is, if whether you've been working with feeders or not, you've got money sites that in general our modality is we're either monetizing them with AdSense. Um, in some cases, lead gen. Maybe a few of you are doing CPA offers, but they're generally monetized in one way. I know some of us have used zero bounce to bounce people over upon exit to Amazon to earn some extra commissions, and maybe some other people have found other things to do with zero bounce. It's a great plugin. It's made me a lot of money. But Absolute Jacker lit things up for me because it jumps out at the front end and it says, hey, I'm here and I'm ready to monetize. And I love the idea of being able to build an email list with my GetResponse account. Now, I haven't worked on that feature yet because I've been busy working with some of the things we're going to talk about a little bit later when somebody hits my feeder site, how I redirect them to earn some CPA money, okay? Which is probably means that, with these CPA offers, the company that may or may not pay me if I generate a lead, they're going to capture the email addresses. But we're also, that battle's not over for me. We're going to continue to come up with ways that we might be able to build not only their email list, but our own. So anyway, I just wanted to stop. We'll be done going over Absolute Jacker here pretty shortly, but I just want you to stay tuned for those of you who might want to understand how we're going to really drive this home and relate it to SerpShaker. Believe me, I'm here for the duration. We're going to talk a lot more about that. So anyway, go ahead, Ariel.
Okay, that's very interesting. Yes, that you're right, because in your money site, instead of creating every article to promote every different product, you only have to find some article or some page you like in internet and you use it. You don't have to spend time in designing, in looking for photographs for the article or the weather or nothing. You take a site, you put it, and you send traffic. You don't have to almost to do nothing. So that's the advantage. That's what we want to use the software, no? And well, some idea, but we are talking with you, Doc, is about the feeder. If we can put over the feeder itself, the over that ugly pages that are ranking everywhere, to put over the sites with the monetized with our money sites over that same pages. So here we did today with the coder. So only this version is not included now. It's only for this same webinar we are giving this. That is this option. Look here, I have a WordPress automatic. It's not a feeder. It's a post articles and YouTube videos. Well, a lot of things. It's filling the site every day. So I can use now with this new feature. For example, if I have here this affiliate offer, now I can make like this. To click here, all pages. So now I say all these pages of my of my site that is giving every day a lot of pages. Every one of them that will be open. Will open this offer. No matter what is down this offer is the site, but now every page is going to everyone entering in my site will see this. Google is going to rank the pages that we don't have idea if this can have problems with the ranking. We're not sure yet, but for pages that you already have ranking, you can put over that pages new offers or new products. So this is a new vision that Doc was talking to me. So we applied to the plugin with only this version for this webinar. I think it's a very interesting alternative. What do you think, Doc? Is good idea?
Say that again.
It's a good idea. You like this way to put over all the pages?
Yeah, I do actually. I know what's going. You and I have had a little bit about this conversation, and I know what's going to go on in the minds of some of the people on this call, and what they're going to. What they're here. Let me back up for a moment. There's another overlay program made by a friend of mine. His name is Jason, and we've been friends for a long time. He develops some absolutely really cool plugins. One that he's made a while back called Leads Phantom is a really slick piece of kit. It doesn't have all the features that Absolute Jacker has, but what it does do really well, and I shouldn't say that, it's got a couple of features that Absolute Jacker doesn't have too. It's a really cool tool for framing up another website over top of your SerpShaker site that looks really good, right? You can frame up different pages, different URLs, depending on the category. So, which is really good when you're generating leads or something like that, and you've got you got a different company that does the work in Baltimore and a different one that does the work in Richmond or Charlotte. It's awesome, and it's really fast, which is great. But here's what I keep hearing, and Jason, and I'm not saying anything that I wouldn't say to Jason. In fact, we had a long conversation online about this yesterday, is that there are people who report that over time, when you put these iframes up directly on the site with all these rankings, is that the rankings tend to drop away because these people believe that the crawlers no longer crawl the whole site. They actually get diverted and somehow crawl your landing page or your overlays. Look, I can't prove that that's the case, yes or no. I have heard enough people speculate about it that and you know what? And nobody can give a conclusive answer. Even Jason will admit that he can't give a conclusive answer about how this iframing thing ultimately works out. And so I'm going to suggest, in the interim step, which I used to use a feeder site, and I would point it at a money site. I'm going to suggest that in the middle, instead of a redirection scheme, we put up basically a throwaway website, one that we don't really care if it indexes, because it's only got one purpose. It's going to hold it's going to hold Absolute Jacker. It's going to hold the information that points to where the site we want to frame up, any pop-ups or redirections we want to do, and we let that do all the work. And that way, if it is true that these iframes eventually bleed or leak, and they don't protect rankings, then we don't have to worry about that anymore. Now, you're still going to need a form of redirection to get from the feeder site, or wherever they discovered you in search, over to this throwaway or offer site. But we could talk about that later. I think that's completely doable. But I like your feature, and I don't want to demean.
No,
I don't want to act like I
something
completely
new.
understand.
We have to it's very new, so we have to see how it works. But that is all the other features stay the same. So this is only a additional thing.
Yeah, Ariel did say this is using a different technology than iframe. I will volunteer. I've got a couple of sites that do, moderate traffic, and I'll volunteer to frame up, on a couple of these sites, and leave it there for the duration to see if it makes a difference in terms of traffic. Which I don't track rankings; I track traffic, but I'd be able to tell if if the rankings begin to drop away. Obviously, that's going to impact traffic. So I'm willing to sort of do a running test to see if it makes any difference with not only with Absolute Jacker, but with Leads Phantom. I just haven't tried that yet.
Okay, great.
So for the overwhelming bulk, I guess, as I'm going to explain in a little bit, I've bought one of these throwaway domains to run offers through, and it's going to be my safety valve. For those of you who can understand where I'm coming from with that. Go ahead, Ariel. If there was more you wanted to demo, please do. I'm sorry to take that much time and if I sidetrack.
No problem. No, it's very interesting. Well, I show many things. Other things, well, are many things use Reddit. It's a site that something. Reddit is a site that has a lot of traffic, but you can't post your offers direct to the people because they take it out. When you submit a link, there are here groups, for example, with thousands of people, I don't know, 10 million people, but you can't submit offer. So you can do in this case also to find the most trending offer. You put trend of Google and you see what is the most searched thing, and you use it with Absolute Jacker to the article, and over you put or your to take leads or to promote your offer. So I always use it to promote my software. So I have here some groups that have 100,000 people. So I send them the link here. In this case, an image. You submit the link, and with a very interesting article. So you begin to get plus here, and a lot of traffic that in another way you can't do it because you have to build all the blog with all the articles to post here. So it's another way you can use these kind of sites that you don't need to spend time creating content. So
yeah, I really bogged down. Like I said, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but creating the content for me is just drudgery and trying to make it look good. It's horrible. I plan on using the heck out of this thing to make sure that the work that other people have done puts money in my pocket.
Yeah. No, and if you build something and some days that is not more actual, more interest, so this way you can go to Google Trends and see what is the here, Barcelona, or you see what is the more interesting thing of the day, and you use it instantly. You send to Facebook or to these kind of sites or to your money site to send where the traffic is coming. And well, with this information, you know that is going to be interesting for the people. So we are creating like a site instantly for the trend of the day. And that is the only way to do it with this kind of technology.
Um,
Uh,
do me
yeah.
a favor, Ariel, just in the interest of time, because we're coming up on the hour. Let's go through any other style pop-ups that you want to demo, and then later on we can just deal with a lot of these questions in bulk.
Okay. Let me see. Because I was talking very fast. Maybe I show a lot of things. Um, 1 second. Um,
It's great, by the way.
another.
Thanks for all these
Yeah.
demos.
No, I want to show you another thing that also, for example, in this, because you can combine, you don't mean that if you don't use clicks and use pop-ups, you can't use all together. For example, these sites of books, no, I want to show how easy it is. For example, I have these sites of free books, and I show how we can make to lock the site with a pop-up. No, but we can make another thing. For example, when someone click, I put enable this action default link to redirect to my product. So I save now, and now it's going to be something else. In this case, again, the traffic comes to this site, and when they click, they are redirect to my bunny site. So also this is very powerful because, for example, here I have a I make a video that in the first 5 seconds, Kindle publisher is catch because they begin with what they do, what they want to know. So if I can redirect someone and see the first seconds of the video, I almost have the person inside the site. So with this technique, I make a redirection from any site. This could be the one of these sites. Let's take this one, I don't know. The more trending site of the day, you catch the site and you use it. You put here, save. Now you have the article here from Vanity Fair. And when someone clicks something here, they go to my site. So you see, we are using the more trending article of the day to send to our money site. And well, this works. I have to tell that this works because I every day make money with this. Is you work fast in 1 minute. You think, okay, what article I make, what offer I send, and you do it. It's not a big deal. It's not that you have to work in design, in banners, it's all very easy. It's 5 minutes to create a good campaign and to make money instantly. And really, really works. I make of Kindle Samurai more than 2,000 sales. And I have to say that I use a lot of these techniques to send traffic because
Yeah.
authors don't go everywhere. And I use sites of authors with writers, and everywhere they go, they see Kindle Samurai. So they finally they buy it. So it's a very, very good software to make money, really.
Um, this is a good question. I want to stop you for a moment. When we do these redirect URLs inside of the software configuration, what type of redirect are you using? Do you
Um,
know if it's a 302, 307?
I don't know really. No, I don't know.
Okay. We can find out from the developer. And that's
Yeah.
Jan, that's a great question. I will make sure I find out. My guess is because
Hmm.
it's typically industry standard to use a 302, since it sends a temporary signal. That's probably what the dev is using. A 307, I talk about them all the time, but if you read about them online, it's really just a tiny little bit of a cleaned up version of a 302. If you see somebody using a 302, I doubt you're ever going to notice any inferiority to a 307. The main thing is when you're redirecting, unless
Yeah.
you intend to tell the search engines that it's a permanent change, you want to make sure that you're using something like a 302 or a 307, so the search engine gets the message that you don't intend for it to be permanent. Because if they get the message that it's a permanent change, then they will stop crawling to index the underlying site, which be a bad thing. So
Yeah, understand. No, but well, this is for the money side, and I really don't know what kind of redirect I can
we'll
ask.
figure it out. I'll get an answer. I believe me. I'm curious too. It's a good question.
Yes, because yeah, I understand your question because in that case you can put all your links pointing to your money site in this case, no? With
Yeah.
a freedom. Yeah, interesting.
Plus, it's all, I'm not terribly concerned about it because it's done, especially in my case where I've bought this throwaway domain. Each campaign is tied to an individual page on the site. And so I'm running, I trust me, when I get done with the strategy videos that'll be on my website, you guys will see a little bit clearer. But I imagine, unless he's absolutely doing a 301 redirect, which I can't even fathom how he would do a 301 redirect. It won't be an issue. Go ahead, Ariel. Sorry about that, but that
No,
was a
no.
good question.
Yeah, it's a good question. I really don't know mm, what kind of redirect is. Um, but well, also another feature, because we have a lot, is also here in this part. I told that you can also run your fan pages from here, because here you can send notifications and schedule for the day you want your subscriber receive the notifications to don't send all the products all the same day. So you can make one day all the campaigns for all the days, but also here you have all your fan page here. Let's say here Samurai page. So I can create here my post and also schedule. This way in the same, also it's like this, it's like another plugin. To have this, you need another plugin really.
Yeah.
But we put it all together because you put here your message, your photograph, and you schedule. And here you will have in this table all your campaigns running to which page, to how many subscribers you get, what is the message, what type of post. So you can build for all the months or for all the time you want every campaign for all your pages. You can select the page you want, and after the Jagger, you put here your message. If you put here, for example, in the message, you put a name like this, or in the notification, the user will receive with his name. So we'll say, George, here I send you this, and you schedule, and they receive all the links with all the iframes, all automatic. You don't have to be every day here coming every day. You run it, and you send all the traffic work alone. So this is also very interesting
That
if you
is such
don't.
a cool feature. But
Yeah.
you remember, I don't know if you've seen it on Facebook. I bet some of you guys will laugh. You know how the network marketer guys um, will like blast all as soon as they make a friend out of you. The next thing you know, you're getting endless notifications. I would think if you're going to use this thing to market, you probably want to stay out of the internet marketing niche. But in other communities, I'm telling you, um, we're going to talk about this later on. It's worthwhile to integrate yourself into a community. Like I haven't monetized it yet, but I've been integrating myself into the intermittent fasting communities on Facebook and a couple of other places recently, just because it's become a part of my lifestyle, and I really believe in it. And I could build some sites and drive some traffic and cash in on it. So I've only monetized it so far with a CPA offer and a and some AdSense. But think about the opportunities to use this to collect leads, and to then sort of like build an actual community around you as an intermittent fasting guru, or take your pick, whatever niche. I don't know. I just think it's kind of exciting, and I haven't done much with the Facebook stuff yet, but I look forward to it.
Hmm. Yes. No, well, you can post also CPA offers here to redirect, for example, to redirect from vanity site, like we see a very authoritative site, to a CPA offer. The user feels that it's not like an offer, like, I don't know, it's good quality. You understand? It's coming for vanity, the vanity first page, so can't be something uh, bad quality. So they subscribe and you get leads. You get authority of your CPA offers.
Oh yeah,
Very-
it's huge. You just have to use it with discretion. I mean, if you're going into one of these communities, I've learned this just by watching a few. You've got to take some time before you start popping things like this out to everybody, to get to know some people, to make some friends in that community, to actually um, be somebody who's contributed or shared. And over time, people will just sort of naturally gravitate to what you've got to say about that niche. And then these offers become more important because people are actually going to click on your link. The authority of the site that's going to be the base is going to speak for itself. But you've also got to cross the bridge to getting
Yeah,
people to
and
click there.
you're right, and you're not sending an offer that it's so. Imagine you enter to a group and you say, "Hey, buy this." It's not sounds good. So if you send to an article,
Yep,
something like that, they
you're right.
say, "Wow, this is a very interesting content," but you really, it's like a Trojan horse. You put there all your offers inside, so they don't see your intention to sell in that group or in that place. Also, for example, for you have a list and you always send offers. Send something free. Okay, look this article. They say, oh wow, they are sending something for free. This is very nice. But you put a pop-up with your offer, so finally you are monetizing everything. So
Yep,
it's a mask, let's say, to monetize everything, no?
yep. No, it's great. I can't wait to dive into it. Uh, I will
Mhm.
definitely start putting that stuff to use.
Okay. Well, I think I show all. Here I can show what all the options you have to build. You can create here what kind of action to link to another site. It's a redirection to have an image pop-up, like an offer, HTML pop-ups if you want to put your own code of the get response or anything. You have social pop-up that to send links to Facebook, Twitter, or Google Plus, or and the opt-in form. So it's very complete. It's all built inside. You don't have to. Uh, you have the ability to create nice pop-ups and nice campaigns. Uh, it's all included in the same plugin. So really, we put a lot of work, energy to make this the best we can. Really, there is nothing we say, okay, let's make this not so good, because we put everything the best. So really works very good, and I use it. I not only sell it, I only also use it a lot.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Um, Tell a little bit about the templates that, if you could, that are provided, because I think they're kind of cool. I use them um, to get up to speed quickly on the offers.
Yes, with this kind of templates are already made. So if you like one of them, you don't have to build from scratch. You see which ones you you want to use something similar. You see here all things from Kindle. You see Kindle because, well, it's what I work. Here, for example, I have a free product with 10 videos. They have to subscribe to get it. Um, and it's very nice to see it. Well, we see this, we have this, we have a arrow there.
Um, and one other thing too, for those of you who I was just typing that I've used the pop-ups a lot. I have had a bunch of different software that did various pop-ups, and one of the things I have to give you credit for, I don't know how you did it, but you always, the pop-ups, the images that I choose, and they're from my own library, or I go out and get them, images related to the offer, they always frame up in the pop-up beautifully, like with margin on the sides and centered and all that kind of stuff. That
Mhm.
was that was really cool that I didn't have to do a lot of tinkering to get them in the middle.
Yes, yes,
Your developers, I'd like to talk to him some, at least funnel questions through you as I get to know a little bit better. But he's obviously got some talent.
yeah,
Your
yes.
coder, yeah. All right, look, we're at the 7 minute mark after three, and I still want to cover SerpShaker stuff later on. Does anybody, um, d- Ariel, do you have anything else that's like really urgent that you want to show? And at the same time, if any of you guys have any questions that just specifically relate to Absolute Jacker, this would be the time to throw them out, because pretty soon we're going to transition over to just talking about monetizing in general.
Yes, sure. If there's some question, I will be
I don't want
happy.
to cut you short, Ariel. That wasn't my intention.
No, no, no problem. Sure. No, I think I show everything, and well, you have to think your own ideas to how to you like to use it for your niche or for your
Yes.
community. But yeah, that I show the features, some campaigns I build, and if someone have any question, I will be very very happy to answer. Or if they
Yeah,
don't
if there
have
are any
questions.
questions, also for those of you who aren't aware, there's a, I don't have the, let me see if I can get you a link. I'm sort of compiling all of this in a blog post um, right now at my relatively new website. And let me see if I can
Ah,
find it real quick, and I'll
well,
pop the
here
link in.
Card is asking me.
I'm sorry,
When will
Ariel, I
be?
couldn't hear you.
No, here is a question of Card. It's asking about the overlay feature for all the pages. With this webinar, all you are going to get the new feature, but when will be implement? It's implemented. It's ready, so you can download now. It's ready. It's not in the market, so anybody else have it. So it's something very very new. I don't know when I will, because I have to build a new sales page with all this feature, so I can take time. So, but you have it ready to download now, so it's ready.
Well, how will that work, Ariel? If somebody has already bought it, how will they get it? Just go to their member area?
Yes, they go there and then find where is the Absolute Jacker Power version,
Yes.
and they download and they have the feature. It's It's
Yeah,
all in there.
for those of you guys who don't know, yeah, there's a link on that page, Susan. All I did when I talked to Ariel about the plugin was get him to take the funnel. Every marketer has a funnel, right? There's like a standard version you get on the front end, and then there's OTOs that move you up the line. And all I did was say, look, we really have to have, for what we're doing, we have to have everything. Um, and that basically is the power version. Why don't you save people some money by not making them go through a funnel, and buy all these individual pieces to get to the power
Mhm.
version? Just make one called Complete. And so
Yeah.
we came up with one called Complete that is for personal use. So if you're just building your own SerpShaker site, you don't need anything else. Just buy it. And if you're going to do stuff for clients, like in lead gen or some other thing that I haven't anticipated, then there's a developer version that you can
Yes, we include
you
all
can use
the,
too, and they're pretty cool. Like you just you get the power zip and you just install it and you're off and running.
yes, yes. That was your idea to include for your audience all in one package. So it's a good idea. I like it. So they can buy all the OTOs together in one time. So that's also a big deal because to buy all in steps is more expensive, a lot more expensive.
Stevie, in regards to your question, it doesn't sound like it to me. I think what Ariel has said is that he hasn't rolled it out to, um,
Who
like
bought
the
it last year?
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Everyone in this webinar,
Can you take care of it?
yeah, sure.
Awesome. There you
But
go, Stevie.
you buy the power version. If you
Yes,
have
Kurt,
the
it
power
does.
version,
Power is the one you want to use.
yeah, the power version includes this feature. So if you have it,
Yeah, I got to go download
yes,
it
you're
too.
right, Kurt. It's excellent question. In the power version, you have all the features of the pro and of the standard of the developer. You have no in the developer you have to buy the license. But yes, you don't have to install 3 plugins, you install one.
There are a
But
couple of
anyway,
other.
I give you the links to download everything because maybe you want in one site to install the standard version and another version, so you have access to all.
Right. Yep. Um, Ariel, thanks very much. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this.
No, no, I really appreciate your
It's
so
great. I mean, what I really like about it is that now that you're sort of plugged into the SerpShaker community, I hope, you'll be available to the
I'm
people
very
who have it
interested. I'm
to
very
add
I
new
like
features.
look I like I a fan of these kind of things to be it's not the word lazy, but to make the things to work fast. You don't have to spend time in things. I to have traffic, to have page instantly. I like all that stuff. I like it a lot.
Okay. So
Yes.
we'll be in touch. And like I said, you're welcome to stay on the call if you want to stay for the. I'm just going to talk a little bit about SerpShaker in general and
Yes.
conversions and stuff like that. You're
Um,
more than welcome to stay or go. I know it's getting late there, but thanks again.
no, thanks to you. And here the last question they asking if you have the complete pack, you will find the new version of Absolute Tracker Power in the membership area. In with no problem, you will have it everywhere. Everyone in this community will can download the last version, no problem. Okay, thank you, Doc. Thank you very very much, and to all to come here and to listen about this. Thank you very very much.
Take care, Ariel. I really appreciate it.
You too. Thank you very. Goodbye.
I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Okay. Wow. That's cool, man. Thanks for taking the time to do that. All right. So let me go into my PowerPoint for a little bit because some of the things we talked about, it's just kind of the timing of things. There were probably some of the things within this PowerPoint that would have been good to talk about before Ariel had a chance to present. But like I said, it was already 9 o'clock there for him. And out of courtesy, I wanted to give him a chance to um, do a walkthrough. And then I figured I will just work extra hard as I go through this PowerPoint to sort of go back in time and relate some of the things that we've talked about to not just absolute Jacker, but just more creative ways that we can get money out of these sites. One of the first things I want to do, and I'm just not going to spend all the time talking about my feeder system concept, but I think if you could take time to go to this URL, somebody can type it in the chat if they've got spare fingers and don't mind saving me the trouble. You could watch. That leads to the YouTube video that will explain to you sort of a concept that I started working with. Ah, man, it's been. I know it was around August that I really started getting into it heavy, and it started paying off for me really well by probably, September, October, and I couldn't do without it now. But it's this feeder concept. Thank you for doing that, Susan. Essentially, what I've done is I buy, like I'll sit down and do my niche research, and I won't bore you with the details of niche research, but I've done a lot of informational sites, things where I earn AdSense on, and that's kind of why Absolute Jacker and actually other methods too really intrigue me, because I'm not complaining about what I make from AdSense, but I'd love to see if I could amp it up some more. But the way I've done it is I do my keyword research and I come up with, okay, Susan, I'll fix that page. There's also a YouTube link. If somebody goes to my YouTube channel, it shouldn't be all that hard to find it. But I'll get that taken care of and get that fixed. Anyway, this feeder, what's great about this feeder system is I spent my time developing these money sites, right? And I would put my click missile on there so that my AdSense ads were presented right. And I'd go out to my Fiverr guy and I would get a logo and, $5 logo, and it would look pretty legit. At least when you got there, you didn't think, you were at something that was incredibly ugly. And I did not put SerpShaker on almost all of these sites, maybe one or two in the early days. The reason is what I wanted to do was create an asset that would last, right? I wanted to create something that Google wasn't going to see as spammy. So I didn't have to worry about them de-indexing it because it was just junk. I knew that my SerpShaker sites were by and large junk because I never put real content on there. Most of the time, the content barely made sense. It was just a bunch of keywords and LSI and header tags and things like that, which, I'm happy to share my on-page stuff, down the road. But Andres has already done a wonderful job of talking about how he does on-page. Anyway, the great thing about this feeder system is that I just build, or I have my team build. It's kind of a little bit of a funny way we do it, but we don't spend very much time per site. And so I've only had one round of de-indexings, and that was 26 sites that I'm pretty sure were manually reported. There are more details that kind of clued me to that, but I'm not going to waste your time. But my basic builds, the way I build outside of somebody getting upset and reporting them, I think is pretty solid, and it doesn't put my sites too at risk. But I was concerned that, I kept reading in the SerpShaker basic group about all these people with de-indexings, and I just thought I didn't want to have all of my eggs in one basket. So I wanted to build money sites that actually looked like money sites and just feed the traffic over to them. That's when I discovered SuperCloaker as a plugin. I started out using one called WP Cloaker, and honestly, it was slow by comparison. I just, SuperCloaker wasn't cheap, but it's it's so lightning fast that it did a really good job. Oh, guess I'm going to miss my exercise. Anyway, SuperCloaker did a great job of moving people over to the money sites fast, and I didn't want to bleed traffic, that I'd worked hard to get. So a fast plugin was absolutely essential. But what I think is really cool about SerpShaker is, did I lose? Hang on. I can't see the... Wow. Can you guys still hear me? Test, test. Okay, cool. All right, my screen went really weird for a moment. It said the live event will begin in a few moments. Okay, as long as you can hear me, that's the main thing. Can you see my screen? Okay, cool. All right, so I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint that got interrupted when the exercise message popped up. Anyway, so basically what I did was I came up with a method that bled as little traffic as possible, but created sites, money sites that I knew weren't going anywhere. Now, they take time. I'm not great at this. Thank goodness I've got an incredible logo designer on Fiverr, or I'd be in real big trouble. But I've begun to build up some of these sites. I'm earning AdSense income. That part's going really well. But I think now, with some of the tools that have come to my attention, what I'm going to try to do is, rather than continuing to build wide, pick new niches, and just keep throwing up millions and millions of XYZs to generate traffic, what I'm going to try is to balance it a little bit better with digging deeper into the niches where I'm having traffic and some success. Now, that's going to mean monetizing them better, but it's also going to mean some investment of my time if I'm going to spend time on Twitter, in Facebook, in communities and things like that. My toe in the water has been intermittent fasting because that's part of my lifestyle and my daily routine. So I'm actually conversant in the concepts of it, right? And so I can have literally, I can have meaningful conversations and offer value about what I've learned. And so it's already begun to pay off. I've got a couple of CPA offers that are diet, fitness, weight loss related, that I'm earning a little bit of income from, and I'm kind of building up my stature in that community. And what I'll be able to do is steer traffic to my money sites from Facebook and Twitter and places other than just SerpShaker sites. What's really cool about jacking, and it doesn't matter whether you use Absolute Jacker or something else that has the same capabilities, is I now have an opportunity to collect their email addresses, which my money sites, I could put an opt-in form on them, right? But how do I say this? They're never going to be confused with authority websites like, there are, I can't remember the name of the one, Daily Burn, I think, is one. There are a few that in intermittent fasting, for example, that are just incredible sites. So what I'm doing, I'll be completely honest, what I'm doing right now to monetize is I've taken 10 or 12 of my feeder sites in the intermittent fasting area, and that are, have pretty good traffic, and I've forwarded all that traffic using SuperCloaker over to a throwaway domain that I bought called offerstories.com, and offerstories.com then frames up is this the picture with the girl in the bikini? No, I'm not sure. Anyway, offerstories.com, it frames up one of those sites. I think it's the Daily Burn, but it's a special article on intermittent fasting. And then over top of it, of course, I put my my offer with my affiliate link. And so far, the first day I did it, I sold um, two of these. I think they're diet packages. I don't know. My commission is only like $33 on each one, but that's 60. I think it was $67 I earned, in that first day, and my average for the whole niche in a day is like 35 or $40 in AdSense. So that was a pretty good development. Um, I'm not sure how I'm going to make the decision yet between taking off the CPA offer and going into the opt-in thing. But I think what I might do um, is try to find a way, and I have to talk to Ariel to see if this is possible, to actually pop up an opt-in form. And if somebody wants to opt in, then great, they can go ahead and do it. But if they begin to move off the page, because he didn't talk about it, but there's an exit redirect, then exit redirect them to the CPA offer. So, this may bore a lot of you people, but I just have the sneaking suspicion that we've been focused on relatively narrow spheres of monetization and building like crazy, right? Um, Covering niches on a cursory level as opposed to really seeing if we can open them up for the big money. And so this is kind of my motivation to move down this road a little bit. For those of you who aren't real familiar with the feeder system, this is basically what it looks like. It's a feeder site with a transit method. In this case, in the basic case, it's SuperCloaker, and then on to a money site. Um, the big benefits, I think I talked about this, you can crank out feeders easily 36 a day. All you got to do is turn something like SEO Content Machine on, like overnight, with some keywords that you get from something like Niche Genetics or Longtail Pro or what have you, and let that thing kick out keywords that SEO Content Machine can use to to drive your content. When the content is done, you simply go in, plop it into your mass page plugin of choice, and bam, it bangs out the sites. It literally, I can put one together with finished SEO Content Machine content in 10, maybe 11 minutes, depending on how fast I'm moving. I actually sometimes, well, actually all the time, when I'm using the command center, because I don't want to reset the PHP, I wait to start the next site until the actual SerpShaker run is done. That's how fast my setup is. So I can get like 3 or 4 sites ahead, and then, go grab a soda or walk the dog or something like that and come back and see if one SerpShaker run is over with and then start the next. That's how fast it's gotten for me. But I still bog down on the money site side. I'm not good at it, and I've tried a couple of services where it gets kind of expensive to have them build the sites for me. Sometimes, my pleasure with those sites has been, better with some than others. So the downside is that redirection does add to load times. It does. It's a tiny little amount of time with SuperCloaker. With WP Cloaker, it was, I want to say it was almost like 2 seconds on most sites that it added, which to me is, totally unacceptable. With SuperCloaker, I think I'm down, I'm guessing, but less than a half of a second, which I think is pretty amazing. And it is expensive. It's $167 to own SuperCloaker, but that's unlimited, and that's for life, and that's it's just a really good plugin. I don't have an affiliate link or anything like that. I just really believe in it. It's made me many times more than that. Just in terms of what it's done for me for AdSense. So this is sort of where we're at today. I'm replacing Actually, you know what? If I was really smart, I would add another arrow in here. So now I'm at feeder site, and then what I've done basically is continued with SuperCloaker. So let's put that. Let's say that's my first transit step, right? Well, I'm going to add another transit step in here, which is a domain that I bought. Let's say, uh, like in this case, it's called offerstories.com, right? It could be anything. Just try to make it look relatively harmless, so that if somebody sees the link itself, they're not going to be terribly alarmed. Innocuous would be good. Don't make it niche specific, in other words. So SuperCloaker sends the traffic over to this harmless looking website, which then frames in whatever I want to use for a money site. In my case, I'm emphasizing well-known brands as much as possible, because all I really want them to do is look good and look like something people would recognize. They actually don't make the money. The money happens when my pop-ups or my redirection, my pop-ups happen on this framed in money site. Or if somebody tries to leave the site, they travel outside of the boundaries of the browser, then I redirect them to an offer or even an AdSense site or something like that, where I've got one last chance of monetizing that visitor. So anyway, we're going to be talking about this more. What I want to do is sort of like do mini case studies. Now, I've got to be real careful. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'll help you on your niches until the cows come home, but I'm really hesitant to share my own niches. I've told people that it's no mystery. I play around with the college, the education sites, and I've certainly done things with intermittent fasting, although that's relatively new. But the rest of the stuff, you got to protect your niches, because it's just dangerous out there, especially since one of the niches where I actually lost, where I lost a fair amount of sites. I'm sure it was reported by somebody because of circumstances. So let's talk about this in summary again. So we find a site that looks good. We basically frame it over a site of ours that isn't anything special, that we didn't have to spend any time in. I am still, until I clarify with Ariel a little bit better, I am still not going to frame over my feeder sites, because I don't want to risk any of their rankings. So I'm going to use these interim domains like I talked about with offer stories, right? I'm going to do the framing there, because I really don't care if they stay indexed or ranked or any of that kind of stuff. And then I'm going to monetize it, with a broad range of methods. And over time, I'll get to know which ones work better for which niches. But right now, it's a little too early to say. So far, CPA offer pop-ups have been my most successful. But like I said, I need to dive into the Facebook thing, the Google thing, all that kind of stuff, and try to drill down on these niches a little bit further. Let me see if I've got anything on this last side. Oh, well, there you go. Like here's my concept of not framing over a ranking site yet, until I can completely verify that I'm not going to lose any rankings. What makes sense for the frame site? Like I said, you don't need anything that's jaw-dropping beautiful. In fact, try to find something that's not so fancy that it takes forever to load, because it's just one more thing. Absolute Jacker, at least, and Leeds Phantom too, for that matter, are both incredibly fast at their framing. So that that's really not much of a problem. But you don't want to find one like what's the one? I go to Yahoo Sports at least 3 or 4 times a day, and I swear that thing must load 95 cookies every time I go, and they all have to load before you can scroll the page or do anything. I just think you probably don't want to use a site like that, because that pop-up is going to be waiting to load itself it's going to be waiting to load itself for all that other crap to get done. So just keep everything lean and mean. Yeah, Richie, Buso is an awesome idea for the interim site too. Just you keep it super light. Don't put any other plugins on there than you have to. You know, like you may use a Kismet for comments or something like that. But what else do you really need, right? It's just a site. Put Buso on there as the theme. Keep it super fast loading, and you're good to go. I think I used for offer stories. I think I might have had a Thrive template that I used, but it's loading really. It's loading pretty quick too, so I'm not too worried about it. But Buso, for those of you who don't know it or haven't been around places where I'm at a lot, I talk about it all the time. By far, Buso Lightning is the best, fastest loading theme I've ever seen. You don't want it on a site where people are going to look at the site because it's incredibly ugly, and you might want to tweak a little bit with it depending on your use. Like I change it; its default is to show excerpts of posts. I go in and change it to show full posts because I think they crawl a little bit more effectively. But it's free, and I can't remember the website, but if you Google it, I'm sure you'll find it. It's BUSO Lightning, and Joe Troyer, his outfit was somehow involved in the creation or development of it. But it's a really cool theme. I encourage everybody to use it. It's on my feeders. I wouldn't use anything else. Okay, so strategies for the pop-up. Like I said, right now I'm using CPA offers. Oh, thank you, Susan, for putting the link in there. That you guys should grab that. It's well worth it. For strategies for the pop-up, the next thing I'm going to try on a reasonably active niche is just standard opt-ins because I want to see what it's like to build a list and try to have some communication with them. You guys know already that, especially if you're on my email list for these webinars, you know that I don't email very much, so I'm not very good about it because of how busy I am. But I imagine that in some of these other niches, where it involves, personality and better CPA offers and things like that, I could take some time out of my schedule to see if it pays off to be active with that kind of stuff. Let's see. I use Buso on SS sites? Yes, exclusively. Can you explain in more details on how you build feeder sites with SEO content machine? It's probably outside of the scope of this particular webinar because we're already, we're already at like an hour and 40 minutes. But I'll tell you what I will do, because my methods have changed over time. I will record a separate video, okay? And I will pick a niche at random and I'll generate some SEO content and I'll actually take a throwaway site and I'll put SS on it and I'll show you how I build out my SS posts so you'll get, another flavor. Like I said, there's nothing wrong. Andres has his own method, but I'll show you how I do it and you can decide what you want to keep or throw away. All right, so are there any other questions? Wow, it's pretty quiet. I guess I've either bored you guys to tears or covered everything. Well, the main message from what I wanted to do with this is to show you some alternatives for just spending a little bit more of your time or more of your time on conversions rather than settling for, what are probably kind of simple, primitive monetization methods that we use. Because, let's face it, we're so focused on building a niche selection. I think conversion sometimes almost like an afterthought, like, oh yeah, that's a lead gen site, or yeah, that's an AdSense site, or yeah, that's an Amazon site, and we forget that we can monetize in multiple ways. Yeah, Carrie, let me see here. I'm gonna hang tight for a minute, guys. I'm going to type a link in here. I'm not a fast typer. Apologies. And yes, I will talk about SuperCloaker. Try that. Okay, look, I'm going to read it out because for whatever reason, my webinar thing is working really strange. It's docdigs.com/authority. Somebody can try that out and make sure that I've got it right. But I think that's the only direct link to get the complete packages without going through the funnel. You could also, I think at absolutejacker.com, if for some reason you want to just go through his funnel, it's no affiliate link or anything like that. You could just move through. I think the front end is like $14 or something like that. But, you'll probably want to work your way up to at least the the power version of the personal, and then probably even the developer ultimately. Okay, can I ask about SuperCloaker? Yeah, go ahead, Mark. Tell me what your question is. Yeah, that link that Daniel just put up, that's probably the best central resource. It's going to have the replay of this webinar when that's all done. It's going to have the link to Absolute Jacker. It's going to have some videos that I'm going to do on strategy. They may eventually amount to mini case studies, although I don't have a lot of, I don't have enough of a track record with the monetization yet to document anything in like a graphical form. Mark says, I'm not seeing any IPs in the drop-down box on SuperCloaker when using SEOalized. Shouldn't it have a list of IPs? Brother, I'm not following you. If you've got a tech question, you should hit up the SuperCloaker dude. I can't remember his name, but I've had to reach out to him by email before for a couple of questions. I don't always use SEOalized, but for those of you who don't know, SEOalized is a living, breathing database that is used by that's compiled by another service that is supposed to more accurately keep you from redirecting bots, crawlers, the kind of people that you don't want to redirect. Because let's say, for example, search engine crawlers, you don't want to redirect those folks because you want them to crawl your feeder site and rank it, with, let's say, you're monetizing in a weird way with Amazon, of a way that violates terms of service. Well, you don't want to redirect people who come directly to your site. Let's say, for example, they looked at your activity as an affiliate for Amazon, and they say, wow, I'm going to go to intermittentfasting.com and I'm going to see what this dude's up to because it looks funny. Well, with my sites, if you go to intermittentfasting.com, you're just going to see a normal money site. It's going to look good. With my feeder sites, if you back up through the funnel, obviously I'm violating terms of service 9 ways to Sunday. The other thing that I do on my money sites is I make sure that if you don't come, and this is really important, guys, if you use something like Zero Bounce, I'll put a screenshot of my settings on this blog page for you. Make sure you have the pro version. Don't settle for any less. I don't care what anybody says. And make the settings conservative, because you want to only redirect people that come through a search engine. That way, if an Amazon manual reviewer does get wise because they can look at your statistics and tell that your conversion rate is like abysmally low. Mine is, it fluctuates between, say, 0.75% and like 3 or 4% on a good day. If somebody's really interested in an ad on a site and clicks and goes to Amazon, there's a heck of a lot better chance that, heck of a lot better than 4% chance that they're going to wind up buying something over the 24-hour period that cookie's good for. So the fact that I'm hovering down around 1, 2, 3%, is it's just a dead giveaway. The problem is that, or the good thing is that I've got it set so that if they navigate directly to my site, they'll never see that redirection, because that's one of the pro settings of zero bounce, is that you can only redirect people that come from search. So pay attention to things like that, because you can lose an Amazon account. And I've gotten mine now to the point where, it's not a ton of money each month, but it's extra, and I don't have to do any work for it. So zero bounce, man, I'm a huge fan. All right, let's go back over these questions. Is there a difference? Is there a Super Cloaker and Super Cloaker Pro? I don't know. I don't think so. Um, let's see. House. Yeah, for those of you who have BSEOized questions, I gave an overview of how it works, but I don't want to step into the role of tech support. So if you've got any real in-depth questions about that, let's try to direct those to. I can't remember the name of the outfit that runs that database, but you can find them online pretty easily. BSEOized is like an extra layer of protection to not redirect the wrong people, just because it's a living, breathing database. But it's expensive. It's like I don't know. It's over $300 a year, and you can hook it up to SuperCloaker, so that SuperCloaker is constantly using it to make the redirection decisions. If you don't have it hooked up, SuperCloaker uses just like basic settings, like it knows to look for Amazon, Yahoo, Bing, those kinds of things, and anything else, it won't activate the redirect. Any other questions? Going once, going twice. All right. Look, I'm not going to drag it out. It's almost 2 hours, and I can't tell anymore how many people we've got on the call. Let me see if I can. We still got 41 people on the call, and I think the high water mark was like 46. So you guys are troopers, the ones that stayed in there, and I hope it helped. I'm kind of been bored. I haven't been doing webinars for a while because of some other things that I'm not spending a lot of time with, but I'm willing to do more of them. So if you guys have other subjects you want to hear about, hit me up, like in the SerpShaker Facebook group, or in the Command Center Skype group, wherever you guys can find me, and I'll see if I can schedule some more of them. Quick question: can you go over again how to make a global redirect with Authority Jacker? Yeah, Richie, I'm going to do that on the videos on my on the website. So that post that we've shared the link to a couple of times, you can do it one of two ways. You can watch for this kind of stuff to hit my YouTube channel, and I'll just put it on my main YouTube channel with everything else, but I'll link to it on that blog post to keep it all in one place. And I'll open that blog post up for comments and discussions, so that if people want to, weigh in, we can open up a dialogue there and just make sure everything gets covered. I don't normally do that on blog posts, but I think in this case, it probably would be useful. Okay, guys, any other questions? I'm going to call it. We're at the hour and 50-minute mark, and I really appreciate your time. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
simple tool to hit the internet marketing scene ever. What does it really take to succeed online? Making online is actually pretty simple. The formula is the same whether you're an affiliate, promoting CPA offers, or you've got your own products. Are you ready for the simple formula to online success? Step 1. You need something to promote, like an offer or a product. Step 2. You need to send traffic to whatever it is you're promoting. Step 3. You need your visitors to trust you and take action. Sounds simple, right? Well, if it is so simple, then why do so many people fail to make a decent income, if even at all, online? Step 1 is pretty easy. There are tons of high-quality converting offers out there to promote. You don't have your own products. Finding an offer is not the hard part. Step 2 is also pretty simple. Traffic is everywhere, both free and paid. Now, step 3 is where almost all marketers fail. Most struggling marketers cannot convert. Some never even get started because they can't get past the technical aspects of getting a website up, doing product reviews, or writing articles that connect